What's up, everybody? It's Josh. King Thanos. He's coming to the Marvel Universe. Now, this is allegedly just for an attraction or a big ride over at Avengers Campus, but I actually think that Marvel is laying the groundwork for King Thanos to be coming into the MCU either in Secret Wars or other projects after that. So who is King Thanos? Well, let's do a comic book TLDR on who the Thanos wins Thanos is. And then after that, we'll talk about this character for the ride and how they might change this character when they come into the MCU. Because again, I strongly feel that Thanos, a version of this Thanos, will be a huge villain for the Marvel Cinematic Universe again. Now, this is an image of the character right here. This was officially released for the coming attraction that will be at Avengers Campus, and this version of Thanos was also said to be the one that actually wins. This was from Kevin Feige himself. He comes out there and says, this is a version of Thanos that actually won, and the Avengers are not too happy about it. And this closely mirrors a story from 2017 that was just called Thanos or Thanos Wins. This is a story that happens in the Universe 666 designation. You know how ours is 616? Well, this happened in 666. And this is basically a version of Thanos that lives for millions of years, gets all of this crazy power and wisdom over time, and takes trying to please Mistress Death to the next level by destroying almost everything and everybody that's in his universe. I don't think it can be overstated just how powerful this version of Thanos is. He destroys all the heroes in the universe pretty much with ease. He makes the Hulk his dog in front of his throne, literally sitting with a chain around his neck. The story is absolutely wild, and it actually ends with the older King Thanos bringing a younger version of himself to the future to essentially help him kill his mortal enemy in his older timeline, but also to allow the younger Thanos to actually kill the older Thanos, because like at the end of everything, he just wants to die to go be with Mistress Death, but the younger Thanos is like, nah, that's a punk move, so I'm not gonna do it, and therefore it resets the timeline and kind of makes him disappear. It's crazy, it's wild, it's comics, but the main important thing here is that this version of Thanos, this King Thanos, is like unbeatable. He's like a version of the Thanos we saw in the Infinity Saga, except ramped up to like 100 times that power and wisdom. Now, the King Thanos that you'll see at this attraction at Avengers Campus, and I believe the one that you'll see in the actual Marvel Cinematic Universe, is going to be different. I mean, Marvel always does this. They do their own thing for their cinematic universe. They take stuff from the comics, but adapt it, change it around as it pleases them. And even in the shots of this new Thanos, you can see a couple of different things. Like, I don't exactly know what that crazy scepter is that he has, but it's very likely that a lot of the stuff that is attributed to that King Thanos or Thanos Wins Thanos from that 2017 Donny Cates run will be introduced with this character. I mean, this is likely a character that has gone through a lot of the events that we've seen in the Infinity Saga, except he beat the Avengers, took the Infinity Gauntlet, and went on to do absolutely crazy things and eclipse his power by, levels and levels and be around for millions and millions of years. But importantly, as I've been sort of saying throughout the video, I think it's way bigger of a deal than just a character for a ride over at Avengers Campus. And there's a couple of different reasons here. Number one, there's this obvious factor that Kevin Feige is in creative control of all of Marvel. And so he absolutely has the ability to set something like this up at Avengers Campus and then pay it off later in the actual Marvel Cinematic Universe. And if you just look at what's going on right now in this main poster here, you see all kinds of different characters from the Marvel Multiverse and Marvel Studios productions that are all coming together to fight Thanos. Now, that is absolutely dope, and I'm so glad they're taking the multiverse over to Avengers Campus. It allows them to do something crazy like this, but that's kind of the whole game, is getting the things that people are attached to via the entertainment to be this big draw to come to Avengers Campus and experience it. I mean, Star Wars itself has done this, right? They have put Batu and they have put this Galactic Star Cruiser thing into their canon and injected into their stories, and they really did try to make this line up with the timeline of the sequels so that if you went out to the movie theaters and you experienced all of this Star Wars sequel trilogy stuff, you could then feel like all of that paid off even more when you went to experience it in the theme park. Like, that's the whole idea, right? So if you look at the Disney example from Star Wars, and you see that Kevin Feige is setting a scenario up where Thanos is there, and you have all of these different characters. I mean, it's crazy, dude. Like, look at this. You've got She-Hulk, you've got Gladiator Hulk, you've got regular Hulk, you've got Captain Britain, Sam Wilson Captain America, you've got Steve Rogers Captain America, you've got freaking Charlie Cox Daredevil, Man-Thing, Moon Knight, a couple of the animated characters, including that animated version of Peter Parker that's coming in freshman year. You've got a T'Challa variant, or perhaps even our T'Challa, and you've got freaking Werewolf by Night. Like, you've got a ton of different characters from the current lineup of Marvel Entertainment, and it's like Feige is doing what Star Wars did, except doing it much better because he's projecting out into the future. He's allowing us to go have multiversal fun and planning it right now, and the Multiversal Saga is what's happening right now. And the multiverse in general is going to play a massive role in all of the different phases as we get towards Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars. I mean, in 2025, we are going to get a Secret Wars movie, which is going to pay off a lot of this multiversal fun. And frankly, I think it would be an awesome idea to set up a variant and a character like this with King Thanos and then bring that character into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And in fact, I had already predicted a version of Thanos similar to this coming back to the MCU. I even did a huge video when these trademarks leaked around the time of San Diego Comic-Con about the Eternity Saga and the Timeless Saga, okay? Massive, huge video for us, a lot of speculation about where Marvel goes even after Secret Wars, but essentially I think variants, the multiverse, and just crazy different versions of characters we know and love is going to continue well past Secret Wars, and it might even get more crazy than that. And I felt to myself like, okay, if you're Marvel, right? You're sitting back, you just did this crazy Infinity Saga with Thanos, now you're doing Kang, you're gonna do Doom and all these different things, and you're going to do a Secret Wars. Well, how do you one up that, or how do you satisfy fans after something like that? Well, I think it's pretty obvious. You bring back the dude that started it all in Thanos, but you just power him up times a million. And I even called the fact that using a version of the King Thanos or Thanos wins would be the way to do it, right? This is that classic George Lucas thing. Like, it's like poetry. It rhymes. And on top of that, Thanos is so well known now. Remember before Infinity War and Endgame, the Russo brothers said they wanted to create the next Darth Vader? Well, they have absolutely done that. Everybody knows about Thanos. The Thanos snap is so pop culturally relevant. People reference it all the time. People reference Thanos all the time. Thanos pops up in all kinds of different shows, movies, even if they're just talking about him or referencing him. Like, they made the next super iconic villain, which is crazy because comic book fans, like, we already knew about Thanos and we love Thanos, but the Marvel Cinematic Universe took Thanos to the next level. Now everybody knows Thanos, and I feel like that kind of brand recognition and doing the comic book thing of like bringing back Thanos but making him way more powerful is exactly what the Marvel Cinematic Universe should do. And I think it's possible they set this character up as somebody who's in this sort of game of worlds as we head towards Secret Wars. Perhaps he'll even play a role on Secret Wars. But again, it's possible that no matter what happens in Secret Wars, this guy pops up again, or a variant like this pops up again, and you have this super powerful version of Thanos wreaking havoc on the entire multiverse once again. Now look, a lot of that is speculation and fanboy dreaming on my part, but I'm just reading in the tea leaves here, and I see a scenario in which Feige is not just doing fun Marvel attractions over at Avengers Campus, but is elevating that experience by tying it in to all of the stuff that we're going to check out in the movie theater, on Disney Plus, all this multiversal goodness, and then eventually bring that character back as some kind of hyped up crazy villain for the MCU. All these young kids that went to this attraction will be like, oh my gosh, it's King Thanos. You get like recognition. It's really, really wild. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. What do you think? Do you think this is the master stroke, the master plan? Do you believe we will see King Thanos Thanos or Thanos wins in the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. If you like this video, make sure you smash a like on it and subscribe to this channel so you stay up to date on all the crazy things going on in the nerdy world. And if you're looking to watch another video, why not watch the crazy video we did about the Eternity Saga and the Timeless Saga as the two next big phases that Marvel will do after Avengers Secret Wars. It's on the screen right now. Why not just give it a click?